Tulsa King. Now here's an interesting TV show. It was described to me as The Sopranos meets Yellowstone, and it features Sylvester Stallone, so naturally I was on board to watch. And what a treat this turned out to be. Since we're focusing on great men on this channel, I want to use this video to talk about Stallone's character, Dwight Manfredi, and how he fits our Be As Cool As playlist perfectly. Dwight, nicknamed The General, is a relic. A 90s mobster who just got released from prison after being locked up for 25 years. Now, just imagine leaving society as an adult male in the late 90s and being thrown in again today. Considering the last few years especially, I think I'd want to go back inside. But I digress. Dwight is very big on respect. As a so-called made man within the mob, he kept his mouth shut for 25 years about a deadly incident which he took full responsibility for. He feels disrespected when he finds out there's no place for him in the mob business anymore, at least not in New York. You see, true respect, outside of basic politeness, is something you earn. You need to prove you're worth it. Dwight earned his years ago. Now, he's not the kind of guy who expected a parade or anything after being released, but he certainly doesn't appreciate his boss now sending him to Tulsa, Oklahoma on his own to explore new opportunities. He feels banished. But Dwight is equally big on loyalty, and as a loyal family member, he does what he's told. What struck me the most about this character is that, in a darkly funny way, he's a gentleman. Sure, he looks intimidating, and he will not shy away from being dangerous or breaking the law, but on a human level he shows respect and loyalty to those who do the same. Even with his enemies, he has a moral code of conduct, and he expects the same in return. He might not agree or even understand, for that matter, what went wrong with the world he left and why things like pronouns are a thing now, but he doesn't judge a person by the way they look or what their beliefs are. Instead, he judges you by the way you interact with him. Granted, he still has a job to do for his family, who, at least in the beginning of the show, are still top of the hierarchy. And so he won't hesitate to do whatever it takes to convince you that cooperation is in your best interest. He's a mobster after all. But cooperation gets rewarded, and with Dwight, compensation for your troubles will be generous. So over in Tulsa, he assembles a motley crew of people who just happen to be at the right, or wrong depending the perspective, place at the right time, to take on his new rival. It's all pretty hilarious, but what got me was just how this diverse crew, the kind you expect in every single Netflix series out there, came to see this old relic of a man as a leader they'd take a bullet for, just like he would for them. Even though at the start they weren't his biggest fans, his flaws are forgiven when compared to his loyalty. He made sure he earned their respect. And sure, he did so rather forcefully, but the respect is there nonetheless. This is how you gain true respect and loyalty, by being the strongest man in the room. And I'm not even talking about the physical aspect of it, although it helps. But it's being fearless, and by taking care of those who you deem worthy of it. Which brings me to the point that these days it seems that we're expected to trust anyone that fits a certain parameter or two, and be loyal to them without expecting, let alone demanding, the same in return. People present themselves through non-verified labels, and labeling defeats the need to further investigate a person. And so you'll never know if someone is truly worth your trust, worth being loyal to. We're certainly left guessing whether it's the case the other way around. And so the only interaction left is to critique or accuse people based on their label or group identity, most often cowardly through strokes on a keyboard. Tulsa King shows that a seemingly ancient trait like being big on respect on a personal level will never go out of style. And it's not something that's easy to give to someone. It takes courage and carries the risk to become disappointed or even betrayed. But Hollywood mobster stuff aside, if, like Dwight, we approach every interaction with a clear agenda in a respectful manner and demanding nothing less than the same in return, we can actually find out if a person is worth our trust and go from there. I'm delighted to see more great manly characters on television recently that hold these values so high. They're often flawed men, and in the case of Dwight Manfredi, deeply so. But in that way, he's more relatable than any Marvel superhero could ever be. I hope you liked this little dive-in, and if there's other great manly characters out there that you would want to see us comment on, let us know down below. Thanks for watching, brothers. See you soon.